Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Ducksy Gaming and a new mini-series on currency making on a budget. This is going to be a series of hopefully 7 videos in 7 days of different ways to make currency with no investment. And when I say no investment, I don't mean there's zero cost whatsoever. I mean it's using what you're realistically going to have lying around at this stage of the league that might be difficult to sell when not in huge bulk, such as maps, random contracts, cheap scarabs and stuff like that. Now each method we're just going to do for an hour a day, so it should be accessible to most players, and we'll give people an idea of what you might be able to earn using different low investment and fairly easy currency making methods. So the figures that I include in Chaos are only going to be what we've sold within an hour of finishing the farm, so we're not going to include anything that didn't sell. I'll show a list of all the loot that we've had, but anything that doesn't sell won't be included in the overall profits. So the first thing we're going to look at is really just random contract farming. For this, I've literally just gone to my stash, picked out any random contracts I've got that my heist characters are high enough level to run, and run them as they are. If they're too difficult, I'll scour them, but other than that, I'm just running them as I find them. So the tactic is really to go to any main chests that are worthwhile looting, and then on the way back, you loot as many small chests as you can and get out before the alarm locks you in. I will say that all the contracts I ran were level 80 plus, but it should work with any. So I ran these for a good solid hour, and actually it was fairly enjoyable. It's not an interesting gameplay mechanic, but you can have something like Netflix on in the background, you can have music on. Doesn't even matter if you die, because as long as you haven't triggered the alarm, you can just go back in. So it's just a chill out for me, listening to music, watching Netflix, and just making some currency. Now, it's obviously not the craziest income you're going to get, but after an hour of farming and selling all the loot, we had a total of 92 raw chaos, and then also lots of useful essences, fossils, and currencies. It's something that I think is definitely worthwhile doing if you're unsure of what to do to make some money, or you're struggling and you might have a pile of contracts in your stash. Just pick some out, go ahead, run them. You don't even have to loot the item at the end because that makes them a bit longer. Just go in, loot as many chests as you can without getting locked in, and then come out again, and you just keep loading them up and doing them back to back. You can easily do like a contract every 1.5 to 2 minutes. So at the end of each video, there's going to be a checklist highlighting exactly how to run the strategy. There's also going to be a snapshot of all the gear that we got and the currency that we made. So for this particular strategy, step 1, take all of your level 80 plus contracts out your stash. Have a look to see if you have any perception or deception ones, because these can drop stacked decks, which sell instantly for 1 chaos in any sort of bulk. Run them as they are, or scour them if they're too difficult. Head for the main reward chest the furthest away, and then on your way back, loot all the small chests. Leave enough time to get out if you trigger the alarm. If it's a dry run, you haven't really found anything good, feel free to loot the end room if it's fairly close, and that will get you some rogue markers to really fund further contracts. And then really it's rinse and repeat from there as quickly as possible. Turn over as many as you can in the hour, check your dump tab, list everything for sale that you can, and then see what sort of profit you've made. I will say the easiest way I've found to sell items is to slightly underprice the item. So if something, a scarab might go for 10c, I'll price it for 9 because I want to sell everything in one go. So I'll price everything up in the sale tab, maybe sit in my hideout sorting stashes out for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I'll get whispers for everything and they'll all sell. Yes, you may miss out on like 5 or 10 chaos, but those things might sell over 4 or 5 hours, which might mean you coming out of a map every time to make the sale. And realistically, it's only 1 chaos that you're losing out per item. That's it for day 1. The second video should also be coming out today, as I'm not going to be around tomorrow to publish it. So stay tuned. It's another really handy currency making method. Made us a lot more than this one. So stay tuned for it, and take care, and see you in the next video.